Lesson 42 is about renaming fractions by multiplying by 1. Now the first question that we have today says, write a fraction equal to 1/2 that has a denominator of 20. If we want to do this, what we're saying is we want a fraction equal to 1/2. So something's going to be equal to 1/2 that has a denominator of 20. So it has a denominator of 20. So we can see in this problem, well, 1 is half of 2. The question that we're asking is what number is half of 20? If we want to figure out what number is half of 20, well, what is it? Say it out loud. Half of 20, that must be 10. So if we want to write a fraction equal to 1/2 that has a denominator of 20, we'd have an answer of 10/20ths. Now the way that we can do this problem by multiplying by 1 would be to say this. We're going to say 1/2 times some fraction equal to 1 is going to be equal to 10 out of 20. In order to get from 2 to 20, we have to multiply by 10. And in order to get from 1 to 10, we have to multiply by 10. So you can see, we multiply 1/2 by 10/10ths to get to 10/20ths. 10/10ths, well that's the same thing as 1. If we put our 1 in the middle there, we've got our fraction equal to 1, and we can rewrite, and we get the answer just a little bit different way, but exactly the same value. Either way gets us the right answer. Let's look at another example. We want to write 1/2 and 1/3 as fractions with denominators of 6. Then add the renamed fractions. So let's say 1/2, let's use a different color that's a little darker than light green. 1/2 times some fraction equal to 1 is going to give us a new fraction with a denominator of 6. And the second part of our problem was 1/3 times some fraction equal to 1 is going to give us an answer with a denominator of 6. Let's look at the first part on the left. 2 times what number is 6? Well, that must be 3, because 2 times 3 is 6. So we want a fraction equal to 1, so we're going to have 3/3, because that's the same thing as 1. In order to get our numerator, we're going to say 1 times 3, that's 3, and we've got the first part of our problem done. In blue, what number times 3 is 6? Well, that must be 2. So our fraction equal to 1 must be 2/2. So 1 times 2 is going to give us our numerator of 2. So we have 2/6. Now it says to add the renamed fractions. So we've got our two renamed fractions. We've got 3/6 plus 2/6. Now we can add them because they have the same denominator. Denominator always stays the same when we add or subtract fractions. So we've got 6 all the way across. And then 3 plus 2, that's going to give us 5/6, or 5 out of 6. We've got our final answer. We've done all three parts by rewriting our fractions with a denominator of 6 after we multiplied by 1. Then we added them together to find our sum of 5/6. Lesson practice will be on page 293. Make sure you've got your notes complete, and I'll see you during our next class.